'Twas the night before Christmas, the town was covered in ice. The cat was out hunting for plump harvest mice. The stockings were hung by the chimney with fright. Krampus would soon be there that night. The children were scared and awake in their beds, while nightmarish visions loomed over their heads. We were like prey caught in a trap and could not settle down for a long winter's nap. When out of the lawn arose such a splatter, I sprang onto the floor to see what was the matter. Away to the window I crept very slow, slid open the drapes, and spied a murder of crows. The crimson red moon on the breast of the snow gave a stain of dried blood to the objects below. When what to my watering eyes should appear but a jet-black sleigh and 8 sinful reindeer, with a grisly old driver with sharp horns and long claws. There's no way that this beast could be Santa Claus. More rapid than owls, diving on prey, he howled and he roared, and I heard him say, "Now Slasher, now Wrathful, now Gorgon and Putrid, on Cyclops, on Rabies, on Goner and Blitzkrieg. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now swoop away, creep away, slither and crawl." As dry leaves torn from trees, the wild cyclones spin, ripping up shingles, flying in sin. So down to the housetop, the cursors they flew, with a sleigh full of booty, and Krampus too. And then in a dimming, I heard on the roof the scraping and pawing of each bony hoof. Each of his nails scratched brick and made sand. In a pile full of dust, with a thud he did land. His claws were long, and the tips touched the floor. The wood they scraped splintered and tore. Mortar and ash clung to his nails. His fingers were swollen, frostbit and pale. The teeth in his mouth were as sharp as a pin, his cheeks skin and bone, his nose long and thin. His devilish horns were drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his face was as black as charcoal. He was dressed in roadkill from his head to his toes, and his clothes were stained red from skinned bucks and does. An empty birch basket was flung over his back, and he was a peddler opening his pack. The stump of his pipe was made from a moose, and the smoke it encircled his head like a noose. He had pus-colored eyes, we dared not to look, and we terribly feared this soot-covered crook. He was brawny and cruel, a wrong evil old elf, and I screamed when I saw him, in spite of myself. No wink from his eye, scratching lice from his head, soon gave me to know I had something to dread. He wrecked our halls and filled up his sack with bad girls and boys and other knick-knacks. He spoke not a word as his beasts did his work, and put coal in our stockings, then turned with a jerk. His serpent-like tongue hung out of his jaw, and giving a cackle up the chimney he crawled. He stomped onto his sleigh, to his team gave a slur, and ripped up the roof like he was removing a burr. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "A black Christmas to all, and to all a dark night."